Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are stripping away the laws of physics as you know them.
Oh, I like where this is going.
I want you to imagine a universe where the first law of thermodynamics, that energy cannot be created or destroyed, is just fundamentally wrong.
Completely out the window.
In the world we are entering today, energy is created constantly by living minds. Magic isn't a fairy tale here. It is the atomic structure of reality.
It's everything. It's the heat in your home. It's the light you read by.
It is heat, it is light, it is the mortar in the bricks. And in this world, the act of building a machine, the simple mechanical leverage of a pulley or a gear, is a heresy punishable by death.
It's a complete inversion of our history. We are looking at the world of Tim Hallen from the Darksword trilogy.
Yes.
Specifically, we are breaking down the source material from the second book, Doom of the Darksword. And the central tension here is just fascinating. You have a totalitarian theocracy that runs on magic, and you have a protagonist, Joram, who is a hole in that reality.
A walking void.
He is born without magic, which makes him dead in the eyes of the law.
And being dead isn't a metaphor. We need to be clear about the terminology for you right off the bat. If you are born dead in Thimhallen, you have no civil rights, no property rights, and usually you are executed at birth.
It's a brutal system.
It is a society that practices eugenics based on magical aptitude.
Correct. You are a non-person. You are a waste of space. But Joram survived.
He did.
And he didn't just survive, he committed the ultimate blasphemy. He took the one substance that negates magic iron, or darkstone as they call it, and he forged a weapon, the Darksword.
Which brings us to our mission for this deep dive. We aren't just retelling a fantasy story. We are looking at a political thriller.
Absolutely.
We're analyzing a regime on the brink of collapse, a theological crisis, and a survival horror story all wrapped into one. We had a lot of ground to cover: the psychology of the villain, Bishop Vanya, the mathematical nature of magic, and the geopolitical chess game that our heroes are blindly walking into.
It's a dense narrative landscape. You have to understand that the doom mentioned in the title isn't necessarily a monster. It's the potential collapse of a civilization's entire energy grid and belief system. And it all starts with the man at the top.
The spider.
The spider.
Let's start there. Bishop Vanya. In many fantasy tropes, the Dark Lord is a guy in spiked armor laughing in a volcano. But Vanya is different.
So different. He's not a warlord.
He's a bureaucrat, he's the head of the church, but the source material paints a picture of a man who is deeply physically anxious.
That's the key insight into Vanya. He's the most powerful man in the world, the de facto ruler of Thimhallen, yet when we meet him in this text, he's dining alone in the Chamber of Discretion.
Right.
He has a plate full of absolute delicacies, peacock tongues, spiced lizard tails, and he can't even taste them. He is consumed by paranoia. He visualizes his power not as a throne, but as a spider web.
That visualization is vivid. He sees strands connecting the emperor, the empress, the technological heretics, and the rebel kingdom of Shuriken. And he's sitting in the center, feeling for vibrations.
But here's the problem with being a spider. You are terrified of the thing that doesn't vibrate the web. That's Joram.
The anomaly.
Joram is the anomaly. To Vanya, Joram represents the Darkstone. If magic is life, the substance that animates the world, then Darkstone is anti-life. It absorbs magic. It creates a void.
So it's not a political threat, it's an existential one.
Exactly. Vanya isn't just afraid of losing an election. He is afraid that Joram represents the unraveling of existence.
It's existential dread. He knows he made a strategic error. He let the boy live years ago, and now the variables are spiraling out of his control.
A huge mistake from his perspective.
So Vanya decides he needs to get a handle on this. He's in this chamber of discretion. This sounds like a surveillance state's dream. It's a magical communications hub, right?
Essentially. It allows Vanya to project his consciousness anywhere in the world. He decides he needs to tighten the leash on his agent, Father Sarion.
Sarion, our man on the ground.
Now, Sarion is a catalyst. We need to pause and explain what a catalyst is because it's critical to understanding the math moment coming up.
Right. In this world, regular people, or sorcerers, have magical potential, but they can't access it alone. They are like a car with a full tank of gas but no spark plugs.
That's a decent analogy. A catalyst is a conduit. They draw power from the ambient life of the world and channel it into the sorcerer.
But it's not spiritual, it's scientific.
Oh, it's deeply scientific. It's not just feeling the vibes. It is a precise science. They have to calculate the exact amount of life needed for a spell. Too little, the spell fails.
And too much.
Too much, and you might blow someone up or drain yourself to death. So catalysts are obsessive mathematicians. Their minds are constantly running equations.
So Vanya invades Sarion's mind, and this isn't a phone call.
No.
It's a psychic intrusion. Sarion is freezing in a prison cell, we'll get to why in a moment, and suddenly the bishop's voice is echoing inside his skull.
It's a violation. Vanya's interrogating him, demanding to know where Joram is. The bishop is physically miles away at the font, the church headquarters, but his presence is overwhelming.
Crushed.
But while this terrifying voice is booming in his head, Sarion's training kicks in. He starts doing the math.
But he's not calculating a spell.
No, he's calculating a probability.
This is the Sherlock Holmes moment of the text. Sarion starts adding up variables. Factor 1. Joram is born dead.
A statistical impossibility almost.
Factor 2. Joram looks exactly like the Empress.
The resemblance is uncanny, and he's seen them both.
Factor 3. Sarion remembers a specific event from 17 years ago.
The night of the dark moon. Sarion was the catalyst on duty when the Empress gave birth. He held a baby that was declared dead and supposedly disposed of.
He was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
He held the child, and he put the variables together. The dead baby, the resemblance, the timing, and the sum of the equation is treason.
Joram is the Prince of Merilon.
He is the rightful heir to the throne. The Emperor and Empress believe their son is dead, but Vanya knows. Vanya ordered the baby's death, and he failed to ensure it happened.
The loose end.
Now that dead baby is walking around with a sword that eats magic.
This puts Sarion in an impossible position. He's a priest. His entire worldview is based on obedience to the church. But he realizes his boss, the Pope, is an attempted child murderer and a traitor to the crown.
It triggers a total collapse of faith. It's not a slow burn, it's an instant shattering of his reality. He looks at the mental image of Vanya and sees the giant spider.
A predator.
He realizes that if he obeys Vanya and brings Joram to the font, he is marching the prince to his execution. Vanya even admits that the chaos of a dead prince returning would destroy the social order.
He says it out loud, well, in his head.
Right. He confesses, essentially.
So he chooses rebellion, but how do you rebel against a guy who can read your mind from 1,000 miles away?
It seems impossible.
This is where the physics of the world offers a loophole.
The Darkstone. Sarion knows the properties of Joram's sword. He realizes that the same property that makes Darkstone a weapon, its ability to absorb magic, makes it a shield.
Anti-magic.
If he wears a piece of the unrefined ore, it creates a static field. It blocks the telepathic signal.
It's a magical Faraday cage.
Precisely. He asks Joram to fashion a piece of the ore into a necklace. When he puts it on, the voice of the bishop cuts out.
Yeah.
Silence.
Gone.
For a catalyst who is always connected to the flow of magic, this silence is deafening. It's isolating. But it grants him privacy. It allows him to plot.
That is such a heavy moment. He's cutting the cord to his god, effectively, to save a boy's life.
And he's completely alone now.
So the priest has gone rogue, but Joram has immediate physical problems to deal with. We need to talk about the funeral and the cover-up in the village.
The next here is brutal. Joram has just used the Darksword to kill the warlock Blacklock.
A major figure.
Blacklock was the tyrant ruling this village of technological heretics.
Yeah.
Now, they have a body that clearly wasn't killed by magic. It was hacked apart by iron. That is forensic evidence of a heresy.
And that brings the church down on you like a hammer.
Instantly.
Enter Simkin.
Oh, Simkin.
If Vanya is the embodiment of order and fear, Simkin is pure chaos. How do we even categorize this character?
Simkin is the trickster archetype, but turned up to 11. He's Joram's companion, but his motives are completely opaque. While Joram is panicking about the murder, Simkin is critiquing the aesthetics of the corpse.
He's more concerned with the staging than the morality. He staged the crime scene.
He did, and the details are gruesome but hilarious. He tells the group he used his magic to tear up the turf and break branches to make it look like Blacklock was trampled by a centaur.
Which is, I guess, a plausible cause of death in this world.
Right, but then he mentions, and this is a key insight into his psyche, that he considered killing himself and leaving his own body there just to add verisimilitude to the scene.
Just to sell it.
Just to sell it. But he decided against it because it would be a waste of a good outfit.
That line always sticks with me. I thought about becoming a corpse for the art. It suggests a detachment from mortality that is suspicious.
Highly suspicious. It implies he might not view death the same way humans do. And then there's the laundry.
The laundry.
Joram's shirt is covered in blood. In our world, that's a crisis. You're burning that shirt.
Yeah, that's evidence.
In Thimhelen, Simkin pulls out a piece of orange silk, rubs the shirt, and the blood vanishes.
Just gone.
It highlights the disparity. Life is incredibly easy for those with magic. But Joram has to scrub his hands with ice and snow to get the blood off. He is stuck in the gritty, physical world while everyone else is living in a dream.
It's a constant reminder of his dead status.
Constantly.
Let's look at the sword itself. Mosiah, Joram's childhood friend, gets his first good look at it here. We expect fantasy swords to be elegant, glowing, runic blades.
The text goes out of its way to describe the Darksword as ugly.
It's not Excalibur.
Not even close. Simkin calls it a skinny man of iron.
Yeah.
The hilt is the neck, the pommel is the head, the crossguard are the arms. It looks like a tortured human figure trapped in metal. It's crude, it's heavy, it has no grace.
But it works.
It works because of what it doesn't do. Simkin explains that when Blacklock casts the Green Venom spell, which is a horrific transmutation spell, meant to turn Joram into a puddle of biological sludge.
Green pudding, I think, is the term used.
Green pudding, yes. The sword didn't fight the magic. It didn't counterspell it. It just drank it.
It's a sponge.
It created a 0-point energy void. The magic hit the iron and ceased to exist.
So the weapon is secured, the body is hidden, but the village is on lockdown.
Total lockdown. Blacklock's thugs, his henchmen, know something is wrong. They have sealed the perimeter. Sarion convinces Joram and Mosiah they have to run. Now,
They almost make it.
they try to slip away, but they're ambushed in the street. And this fight scene is pivotal because it changes our understanding of Mosiah.
Mosiah the farmer.
Up until now, Mosiah is the field magus. He's a nice guy who uses magic to grow corn. He's a pacifist.
But Sarion the catalyst is desperate. He grants Mosiah life to defend themselves.
And because Sarion is a high-level catalyst, one of the best in the church, he accidentally pours too much power into Mosiah.
He overfills the tank.
Way over. Mosiah's subconscious takes over. He doesn't cast a fireball or a shield. He transforms. He becomes a werewolf, a great hairy beast.
So the nice corn farmer has a monster living inside him.
We all do, arguably. But magic brings it to the surface. Mosiah rips the guards apart. It's visceral. It shows that magic in this world isn't just a clean tool, it's an amplifier of the id. If you are scared and angry, magic makes you a monster.
And while this is happening,
While Mosiah is having this horrific, bloody transformation,
meanwhile, Simkin is fighting with a broom.
the contrast is deliberate. Mosiah is in a blood rage, tearing throats out. Simkin transforms himself into a broomstick and whacks a guard over the head.
It's slapstick.
It's slapstick comedy in the middle of a slaughter. It reinforces that Simkin isn't taking this seriously, or at least he wants it to look like he isn't.
He's always performing.
Always.
They survive the fight and flee into the outland. This is the wilderness where the church's control and the ambient magic starts to fade. Joram wants to go east, to Merilon, to find his parents.
That's his conscious goal. He wants answers. He wants to know who he is.
But Sarion notices something disturbing. Simkin is the guide, and Simkin is leading them north,
Not east, north.
toward Sherikan, the rebel kingdom.
The Iron Curtain of this world.
Uh-huh.
Sherikan is at war with Helen. Sarion realizes they are walking straight into enemy territory, but he's too exhausted to stop it.
He's just trying to survive at this point.
And frankly, the environment is trying to kill them.
Let's talk about the botany of the outland, the key vines.
This is straight-up survival horror. The key are carnivorous plants. But they aren't passive like a Venus flytrap. They are active predators. They sense body heat.
They hunt you.
In the text, Mosiah steps into a patch and the vines instantly wrap his ankles. Thorns dig in to find a vein. They are sucking his blood.
And magic doesn't help here.
Magic is part of the problem. The plants are magical life forms. Giving them more life just makes them stronger. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
So it's up to Joram.
It has to be Joram. He has to use the Darksword. He hacks the vines. And again, the anti-life property kicks in. The vines don't just get cut. They turn black and curl back, recoiling from the touch of the iron.
The only thing in this world that can truly kill them.
The only thing.
While they're hacking through this nightmare, Simkin is playing mind games. He keeps talking about it.
It, the invisible monster, Simkin will say things like, shh, it is sleeping, or it has a bad sense of smell. He never defines what it is.
He's creating a bogeyman.
He keeps the group in a state of heightened adrenaline and terror. It makes them pliable. They follow him because he seems to know the rules of this hellscape, even though he's making the rules up as he goes.
So they are exhausted, terrified, and lost. And then the landscape shifts.
Okay.
They walk out of a gray, dying forest into paradise.
The glade. It's a sensory shock.
Mm.
Sunshine, blooming flowers, hot springs. It's completely unnatural for the region. It shouldn't be there.
And the first red flag.
Simkin immediately disappears.
I'm just going to step out for a moment. Never a good sign.
Never. But the others are so desperate for comfort that they ignore the trap. They bathe, they eat fruit. Sarian tries to keep their spirits up by telling tales of Merilon, describing the crystal towers and flying ships.
He's trying to remind them what they're fighting for.
He's trying to give them hope, but he's really just distracting them from the inevitable.
Which arrives in the form of a raven's caw.
The signal. The trap springs. They are surrounded. But not by monsters, by the Darksword.
The Warlock Police. The casual listener might think wizards, but these guys are closer to a SWAT team, right?
They are the elite enforcers. They wear black robes, they don't speak much, and their magic is purely combat-focused. They have the group pinned down instantly.
And this is where we see the rock versus scissors dynamic of this world's combat.
Exactly. Mosiah tries to fight. Sarian boosts him. Mosiah fires an arrow with a seeking spell. Think of a heat-seeking missile made of wood.
High tech for this world.
The Darksword commander just waves a hand, and the arrow incinerates midair. Then he casts a paralysis spell on Mosiah. Mosiah is choking, unable to breathe. Magic versus magic, the stronger wizard wins. Simple as that. But then Joram steps in.
Joram jumps in front of Mosiah. The warlocks fire a spell to stop him. The text describes the magic as strange silver moonlight. It's beautiful and deadly.
But when it hits the Darksword,
Nothing.
the streak of night,
The sword creates a dead zone. The silver light shatters against the iron. Mosiah is released from the paralysis because the spell literally cannot exist in the proximity of the sword. The warlocks are stunned. They have likely never seen a spell fail like that.
they don't have a protocol for this.
None. Their entire playbook is useless.
But they aren't alone. A fourth man steps out, and he isn't wearing black robes.
No. He's wearing velvet and jewels. This is Prince Gerald. And he's not from the church. He is the Prince of Sharakan in the enemy kingdom.
And he's got backup.
He has a cardinal of the church standing next to him. A traitor cardinal. Cardinal Radosovic. So the enemy has infiltrated the highest levels of the church. Gerald is the interesting variable here. He sees Joram, a peasant boy in rags, holding this crude iron sword, and Gerald challenges him. Surrender.
Joram, running on adrenaline and the belief that his sword makes him invincible, refuses.
He's feeling his power.
He challenges the prince to single combat.
Come and take it.
And this is the most critical lesson for Joram. He thinks the Darksword is his strength. But Geralt draws a steel sword. Not magic. Steel. An ancient weapon with a hawk-winged hilt.
And Gerald knows how to use it.
Joram is a blacksmith. He swings the Darksword like a hammer. He's strong, but he has no technique. Geralt is a fencer. The fight is over in seconds.
It's not even a contest.
Geralt parries, disarms Joram, and sends the Darksword flying.
It's a humiliating defeat. It proves that technology, the sword, isn't enough. You need skill.
The wielder matters more than the weapon. A huge lesson for him. Once the sword is gone, the Darksword step in. They cast rings of fire to cage Joram.
A magical prison.
But, and this is a crucial detail, they note that they cannot use the null magic spell on him.
Why not?
Usually to arrest a sorcerer, you drain their magic. You can't drain Joram. He's already empty. He is immune to the standard method of control.
Another way his dead nature is actually an advantage.
A paradoxical strength, yes.
So they are captured. It looks like the end. The Prince of the Enemy Kingdom has them, but then the bucket.
The bucket. The warlocks are searching the bushes and they find a wooden bucket. They bring it to Geralt, and the bucket starts making sarcastic comments.
Only Simkin could get captured as a bucket and make it a scene.
Geralt recognizes the voice. He grabs the bucket, shakes it, and yells, "Simkin!" The bucket transforms back into our favorite trickster, and here is the twist that recontextualizes the entire journey.
The whole thing was a setup.
The whole thing.
His Royal Highness.
Simkin introduces Joram to His Royal Highness, Prince Gerald.
Yeah.
They're old friends. Simkin wasn't lost in the forest. He wasn't running from it.
He was a tour guide.
He was delivering Joram specifically to this glade to meet the Prince of Sharakan.
He was an Uber driver taking them to the rebellion.
Exactly. The dynamic flips instantly. They aren't prisoners, they are guests. Geralt apologizes, invites them to dinner. But he's watching Joram closely.
Geralt is smart. He sees things. He's not just a warrior prince.
He sees two things. One, he sees the noble blood in Joram's face. He recognizes the resemblance to the Empress. He doesn't say it out loud yet, but he knows this isn't a peasant.
He sees the politics.
Two, he sees the strategic value of the Darksword. He just saw it negate a high-level paralysis spell. That's a game changer.
And we finally get the explanation for Blacklock. Why was a warlock ruling a village of technologists? That never made sense.
Sarion and the traitor Cardinal Redisovic compare notes. They put the puzzle together. It turns out Blacklock was a double agent for Bishop Vanya.
Of course he was.
Vanya sent him there to radicalize the technologists, to push them into an alliance with Sharakan.
It was a honeypot operation, a sting.
Yes. Vanya wanted them to gather in one place so he could crush the heretics and the Sharakan army in one massive stroke. Blacklock was supposed to betray them at the last minute.
So when Joram killed Blacklock,
He didn't just kill a bad guy. He accidentally dismantled a global conspiracy.
he saved them all.
He saved the technologists. He saved Prince Gerald from walking into a trap. Joram is an accidental geopolitical hero.
That is an incredible turn. He has no idea what he's done.
Not a clue. He's just humiliated that he lost a sword fight.
This changes the board completely. Now we have an alliance. Joram, the dead prince, Sarion, the rogue priest, Mosiah, the werewolf, and Simkin, the agent of chaos, all backed by the military power of Sharakan.
They have moved from being fugitives to being players.
Yeah.
Gerald sees a weapon that can absorb magic. He sees a boy who is immune to the church's policing spells. He realizes he might just have the pieces to win the war against Vanya.
So as we wrap up, let's synthesize this. The theme here seems to be the power of the dead.
It is the central irony. In a world where magic is life, the absence of magic is the only thing that offers freedom. Vanya's web catches everything that touches the magic field. Joram is the hole in the web.
He is the blind spot.
He is the one thing the system cannot process.
But is he a savior? I mean, the title of the book isn't exactly optimistic.
That's the ambiguous part. The title is Doom of the Darksword, not Triumph. Joram brings iron, he brings technology, but in this world, technology is anti-life. It's cold, it's dead.
As entropy.
Right. And you have to consider the human element here, too. Think about Sarion. He's this tragic figure who now knows he's protecting a prince who would be executed if he went home, and he has to guide him to an enemy kingdom.
And Simkin. The mystery of Simkin. Is he a fool? A genius? Something else entirely. He manipulated everyone perfectly.
We still don't know his endgame. He's playing a completely different game from everyone else.
We're left with a difficult question, then. The church is oppressive, yes, but they literally provide light and heat. If Joram wins, if he brings the dead laws of physics back to the world, does he liberate the people, or does he just turn off the lights?
Is the absence of magic freedom, or is it just a different kind of darkness? That is the question they are marching toward as they head for Sharakan.
A question we will continue to explore. That's it for this deep dive into the Outland. Watch out for the vines, and we'll see you next time.